Nirvana means in Sanskrit, blow out. That is, exhale the breath.
And that's the takeaway.
Who is it, the lumberjack?
Me. Oh yeah, I'm the
Well, guys, welcome to the podcast. For the people that don't know, I'm sitting here with Aaron
right here. Wallace.
Oh yeah, hi Wally.
and Jacob, legends in the game.
Or Jacob.
My two Menominee friends in Eau Claire.
Wow.
It's a privilege.
We're like Chippewa Valley boys.
Yeah,
We're all over.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Like
that.
Chippendale.
Yeah,
Is
we're
Menominee a
Chippewa
Chippewa Valley?
Chippewa Valley, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Right, well, is it? Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
We're coming up out of the valley a
I
little
think,
more.
yeah, I think it encompasses like Chippewa Falls, Eau Claire, Menominee for sure.
I think you're right.
Well, guys, this is a little impromptu. I was gonna sit down and talk with you about woodworking, but now we can talk about woodworking with you as well.
Oh yeah, no, honestly, Wally should tell the world.
Do you
about
guys remember
woodworking.
that one time that I went to that? We all did that job site together. That was fun.
That was the first time I met you.
Yeah, I guess it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that was a wild day. I was doing some ridiculous shit.
I'll put in a couple photos right here.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and check out my Patreon. But yeah, how's life going, guys? We don't really have a theme today. We're just going to be kicking it, talking the smack.
Life feels very uncertain right now.
Does
and
it?
I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about my own life.
Or just like the impending snowstorm.
Yeah, for people listening, yeah, it was like 70 degrees last week. It's like middle of March.
Mm-hmm. It's
upper Midwest.
It's not going to stop snowing till the middle of May.
We got a loose blizzard today.
Yeah.
And so that's the vibe.
That is the vibe. I wish it was tropical here, but it's not. Can you imagine that? What if the North Pole shifts and then we become on the equator?
I would be happy.
Do you ever think about that?
I would be so fucking happy.
Right, and then like
as long as there is an ocean that would come up to us somewhere close.
Yeah.
So I
true.
guess it would have to flood.
it would flood up the Mississippi a little bit.
Yeah, there we
I
go.
think we're in a safe zone, but then like we would be close hypothetically if the sea level went up
Oh, you would.
however many 100 feet.
No, I mean like you ever heard of like the polar shift where the Earth like goes like?
Oh yeah, you're talking about when the magnetic spectrum
Yeah,
flips,
yeah.
supposedly.
That's where the mud floods come in. You guys heard about the mud floods?
No, I mean
Tartaria.
Tartaria. Are you talking about the big flood?
No, it's kind of a different tinfoil hat thing, but
Oh yeah.
Did
It
you
is.
know this isn't a tinfoil? This is actually a fact. Did you know that a fossil has to be buried in mud in order for it to turn into a fossil?
is that right?
Yeah, it has to be buried in mud alive.
Alive?
Yes,
I feel like
generally.
you'd be freshly dead.
So think about this.
I
In
thought they all just
Colorado.
died and became fossils.
No, because think about this. You know how many things die in the forest and you never see a fossil?
True.
It just rots. Nor do you see any buffalo skeletons turned into fossils. There are millions, if not billions, probably just millions,
True.
killed, right? So you have to be buried in mud in order to turn into a fossil. And you can make petrified wood in 3 years.
What?
There's a dude somewhere in the South that makes petrified wood in 3 years. He hooks up blocks of hard maple, speaking of woodworking, and he attaches them to a chain and he sinks them in this blue mud next to a creek that's flowing.
Anytime I hear hard maple, man, I really like it, actually.
Yeah, right? Yeah. You and my girlfriend.
I've always wanted to go to the petrified forest and steal a block of petrified wood.
Where is a petrified forest? Isn't there one in
I think
California?
there's one in Arizona, maybe, or somewhere over in that
or
area.
in China?
There's like a giant one where like it's literally just trees that are petrified.
I've seen pictures. I want to go
Yeah.
there too.
It's a national forest. in
But
America.
that, I believe the way that formed was covered by sediment and then it was washed away.
I don't know. Do you?
Or it was a lake of mud and then it like broke. I can't remember how it's formed, but I've heard of how it was formed. And there's some of them that are standing upright too.
Yeah, I know. And then did you see that thing floating around the internet where they found like a petrified tree stump in like a coal mine?
Oh, I believe that.
And it was just like,
Absolutely.
maybe I just don't understand petrified.
They found it's when the minerals of the stone replace. It's basically like fossilization. It replaces the the Matrix.
I thought it took thousands of years.
It doesn't. It's really fucking fast.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that
That's
weird?
pretty wild.
Yeah. Fun fact.
What's the biggest thing you ever built?
The Menominee Farmers Market Pavilion. That is the biggest thing I've ever built.
Photo right here.
She was a cruel mistress.
I mean, I've been to it. It's really insane. I think what you do is really, really cool.
Thank you.
One day I do want to get rich enough to have you design my shed.
I do too. I want you to get rich and hire me too.
It needs to be huge too. I want it to be a big boy.
How big?
I don't know.
What kind of dimensions are you thinking?
I don't know.
Like
I'm not manifesting this enough to know the details like that. It should be like at least 50 by 50.
Ooh,
Like
a square.
Like a big. It doesn't have to be a square, but
But you want big, yeah. So
50 by 70.
that's fucking huge.
Yeah, with
That's
like
a big-
15-foot high ceilings. Just a
That's
big
big.
old shed.
That's very big.
You need a lot of wood to do it with wood, though, don't you?
I think if you made it more like 30 feet wide by like 70 feet long, that'd be pretty fucking rad.
Yeah, 30's not that big though, is it?
30 feet is
What's
big.
a normal 2-car garage?
Let me think here. 20
Is
feet?
it 20?
20 feet?
Yeah, we need bigger than that.
40 feet wide by 80 feet long.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I can't do spans over 40.
Why not?
I mean, I could, but then it gets weird. I mean, I would totally do
What if
something
you
that's
just
50
did 2 of them next to each other? So it's like
No, you could totally do that. What am I talking about? I just like long, skinny buildings. That's all.
I like a little girth.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
still girthy, girthy. Like my shop is 20 by 30.
Your shop's pretty perfect.
So, like,
I wouldn't-
20
I
feet
wouldn't
wide.
Need more space than that.
So it's 20 feet wide. Imagine if it was 30 feet wide
That'd be sick as hell.
by like, that thing's only 30 feet long. So imagine 30 by like 50. I'm talking to a guy right now who wants a 30 by 50 foot studio in the style of my shop, a Kruk frame.
$100,000 or what? How much is it?
I told him about 85,000
Yeah,
just for the frame.
that's what I'm saying.
So he's, we'll see if he pulls a trigger on that one. I hope so.
It's just obviously everybody wants it.
Yeah. Yeah. People want good architecture these days.
I need to make enough money because I know that the property I want with the house I want is gonna be like $2 million. So
Where are you thinking of buying?
I don't know. Not that I'm close to that goal either.
I
but
wanna
that is what I
be-
need to get what I want.
This is my dream. I want to be somewhere tropical.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have a very biodiverse jungle with dangerous creatures in it. And I want there to be a fucking coral reef beach.
Costa Rica, dude.
Yeah, exactly. I want to fucking be able to go out in there and see lots of ridiculous fish and maybe some whales and shit. I want exotic as fuck. Lots of dangerous biodiversity. Okay, I want poisonous snakes.
I like that.
I
like
love
what
that
you're
shit.
saying.
I used to have fantasies about building. Did you ever watch G.I. Joe?
No,
I'm really old. It was a cartoon.
I got a little bit of it, but I didn't.
But there's this one character in G.I. Joe. And
I was more of a Ninja Turtles guy.
That was a great one. I remember when that first came out. Okay? Just think about that. I was in grade school when that first came out. Can you imagine people first experiencing James Brown for the first time? And that seems unrelated, but or the Beatles, we're like, oh yeah, the Beatles, Elvis, blah. Can you imagine never having in our culture the fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja fucking Turtles? And then being a teenage
Turtles in
boy,
a half shell.
being a or not even teenage, I was like 10, 12, and then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out, and my brain exploded. I'm like, what the fuck?
And then it was
Oh, we were
then it was
obsessed.
Power Rangers for me.
And I was too old for that.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't.
But
I think it's funny. You know the history behind that show? How they just dubbed over a Japanese TV show, and
I believe that.
they only filmed the scenes with the only thing that's not dubbed over are the scenes where they have their helmets off. That's new footage.
that makes perfect sense because the way they move and it's filmed is so Japanese.
It was all Japanese.
Yeah, that makes
Which
sense.
one?
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers.
Okay.
baby. Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to watch that because it was violent.
Oh fuck yeah! I wasn't allowed to watch violent stuff either, but
But you watched G.I. Joe.
I somehow got away with it. Yeah.
I know, yeah, so then, like, wasn't allowed to watch Power Rangers, but then, like, my dad would throw on, like, Black Hawk Down and Pearl Harbor.
But that's real.
This is realistic. The boy needs to know.
Yeah, that's just reality.
Dude, my other favorite one was, yes to Star Wars, no to Harry Potter.
Oh, because that's satanic.
Yes to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, because J.R. Tolkien was friends with C.S. Lewis. He was a Christian. Well, at least C.S. Lewis was. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I remember that too. Yeah, except, I remember watching parents do that to their children because I was older at that point. Because I'm older than you.
I had young parents, so I think at some point they just kind of gave up.
Early on.
I met your parents. That makes sense.
They were just like, all right. What do you want? They're quiet.
What's your relationship like with your father?
My father?
Yeah.
Now it's pretty great.
Your dad seems like a
growing up he was a maniac.
Trippy dude, man. He looks like he could totally be a maniac.
He is a maniac, dude.
Is he a musician or an artist in any way?
No, he should be though.
He has the vibes of some fucking just I don't know, some producer or megalomaniac musician.
Isn't he a dentist?
Yeah, he's a dentist.
Right, he's a dentist.
Tried.
We share a deep love for Gary Larson, he and I, your dad and I.
Nice. I've heard the name. I don't know
We
him.
bonded over his, Gary Larson was a cartoonist.
Oh, yeah, now I know him. I know who you're talking about now. The
very-
Far Life or whatever?
Far Side.
Far Side, that's
Yeah,
it.
funny. I mean, I used to be a kid laughing at that shit constantly. He has I think he's like carries around some cards of his.
Yeah,
He's obsessed.
He has like the daily ones, so he pulls it.
Which I need to get. I need to get the daily.
Anything he's into, he's kind of obsessed with.
That's what he seems like. He seems like a very...
He's a very neurodivergent person. That's where I
Yeah.
probably get it from.
Yeah. Man. Did you ever...
But he's my dad and my mom got pregnant at like 20, 21, pretty much. And then my dad joined the military, was in the Navy, and then
See ya.
that's when he got his medical degree and like started working
Okay.
as a dentist. He's also he's got a complicated story, but he's first generation American too. Both of his parents were from Europe.
Oh, no shit. Is that a joint?
Yeah.
May I have a... Thank you.
Just want to make sure it's lit for you.
This is this the Delta 9 stuff, or is this like
No, that's
illegal
real.
weed?
That's real weed. The little last bit of dirtiness that I have. No, that's actually my reflector thing for photo shooting. I never even cleaned up.
Do you guys have that?
Guys, this is actually my second podcast today. I did one this morning,
Whoa.
and then I shot a photo shoot, and now we're here.
How are you enjoying podcasts?
It's a lot of fun. I have fun plugging in.
What do you find fun about it?
Just talking with people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just chopping it up.
Yeah. I'm
silly.
I feel like I'm naturally kind of a curious person, so it's easy for me to sit down and just be like, oh, tell me more. I'm not saying I'm very good at it yet or anything like that. But
Yeah, but you're good at having conversations, so that's all you need to do, right?
yeah. It's fun.
Just talking.
It's for the Patreon boys
Patreon.
and girls.
What do they pay for?
Whoever.
What do the people want?
They told me I did a poll recently. They said more titties.
Oh, damn. And then you got the boys on.
Even the women say that though.
The podcast is I just saw it as something that I want to work on for the next like 10 years that coincides with my creative work. So I was just like, it's time to just do it. I know that when I first moved back, Jake, we were talking about it even. It's been on my mind for quite a while. And then I was like, why produce podcasts? Might as well just buy the gear and do it myself.
Absolutely.
And then I was like, fuck being scared to start. And I just fucking started.
Dude.
And then now I'm
There's
like,
power in
it's
that.
now when I see my friends, I'm like, let's just get on the pod.
Oh, dude.
Get on the pod.
Yo, get on the pod, dude.
When you said we're gonna pod, I actually Googled that. I'm like, is this a slang term for something? And then I'm like, oh, podcast. But it didn't. There's no slang about podding.
Well,
except for a podcast.
my favorite podcast is a comedy podcast called Matt and Shay's Secret Podcast. And they're just trying to be funny, and it's just a bro hang, really.
Can I have one of these again?
Yeah, get in there.
Oh shit!
Plug it. What is it?
It's a
Mega Blast
Oh,
Delta
yeah.
THC Seltzer.
They sell those at the
Fruit
Menominee.
Punch.
That's where I got them.
The Menominee Micro Food Cooperative.
I was kind of bummed. They usually sell 6-packs of them, and I wanted to get a 6-pack, but they were selling them 1 for $5, and I was like, all right, we're getting 4. And
It's
I'm
made
out.
with real fruit.
Yeah.
It's actually the Brewing Project makes that.
If I known, I was Wally told me yesterday that he wasn't going to be here tonight. So then
He wasn't, but then
Had
I
I
was like,
known.
hey,
Guys, this
would've-
does not. This shit does not treat or cure prevent any disease. Okay.
I would have got you guys some root beers.
it definitely treats me just right.
This is tasty stuff, though.
I love these. They don't give you a hangover. You have a couple of these, you feel a little goofy, but then it hit me pretty hard when I was shooting earlier, the first one. I was like, I probably should have waited for the pod, but. So Jake, tell us what's up, dude.
Dude, thank you for
How's that?
asking.
Are you getting ready to go to the farm or what?
Yeah, no, there's a lot. Yeah, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do this spring, but yeah, the farm. Because there's another thing I've been thinking about doing, but then yeah, we're still gonna keep the farm.
Oh, okay. Just trying to catch up. I still want a homestead somehow. In my
I
life.
know, yeah, and then like I need
So
like an
hard.
unrealistic amount of money,
Yeah.
like $7,000 to rent out power, and then like $1 billion in fees before you can even like pour concrete for a house.
Oh yeah.
And so I was
know.
actually looking at
Can't you just buy like a bunch of big semi trucks and aren't they technically not like a?
right. So then like I'm thinking about building a garage.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been going because I've been Amazoning. I've been driving a lot in the country, and I've ran into a couple of those big garage houses, and I'm like, dude, this is the way to do it.
That's the way to do it.
Pole shed house.
Yeah, I think they all run
That's what I
their.
think Wally's
They run a
spot's really
business
cool.
out of it, I think, or something.
Right.
Maybe I'm not sure how, but they're literally just. You got the house, and then you got like this massive, and they're just massive garage buildings.
Yeah, they're just outfitting a portion of the shed for living.
But they're
quarters.
so gross compared to like what you can do. But they're probably a lot cheaper.
But you can do them nice. It's just that they're just failing at some details, you know. But if they added the correct details, you could make a pole shed, studio house, garage house look really fucking cool. I've seen.
Oh
it done.
yeah, for
And
sure.
You just gotta think about it a little tiny bit, like maybe.
I feel like the people that do, they always make something pretty sick. There's a lot of people out here that aren't thinking about it though. They're not even sure what they want.
You know,
There's a lot of
seeing
ugly
something
houses here.
They're seeing something they like. We were talking about it earlier. How people notice things. They're like, "Oh my god, that's so beautiful. Oh, that's awesome. That's sick." Well, what do you like about it? What do you love about it? Well, I like that it's black. I like that it's black. It's a black building, so they make a black building, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute. You like more than it being black. Well, yeah, it was a steel roof and it was all steel and it was black. It's like.
Show me your
It was-
references.
It was
bitch.
also cool because of the proportions. It was also cool because they had a big picture window and they put it in one spot that was kind of cool. And they also had like a colorful door maybe.
Yeah.
And maybe they had a garden in front of it with a cool deck.
Have you ever thought about like marketing
It's like, you know, just think
like
through
that
those-
shed, but then like trying to hit like really rich people and like places you want to go do work, like sell a really expensive package to like millionaires out in Japan or some shit. I guess Japan's probably the wrong country because they have the best woodworking too, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely they would be like, who's this guy?
Or even Costa Rica, for example, where they might not have that like skilled labor. Where they're
you mean like a kit?
where you could charge. You're like, if they gave me $100,000, I'd go down there for like a few months and build this thing out or something.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Oh, absolutely, yeah. In fact, yeah, I built a timber frame and shipped it before. Like, a lot of timber frames are actually built off state or out of state lines and shipped.
Yeah.
So I would definitely do that.
That's
yeah.
pretty
Because
sick.
it's all modular anyways. It's all prefabricated. So you make a timber frame in your shop, not on site, and then you always have to transport it. So yeah, I would totally be into that. Am I too quiet?
Like Lincoln Logs.
I
Like Lincoln
I want
Logs.
to hear you
yeah.
guys.
Very much like Lincoln Logs, Jake.
What's the best wood?
Oh boy, it depends on what you're going for. What qualities of like, for instance, you would say like, what is the best wood that doesn't rot?
Yeah, if I was gonna build like a really gangster garage at my farm.
What about if you even think locally, like what's the best kind of thing around here that you can source?
You can
that.
source. Okay, so for like a timber frame, probably the best thing to use would be eastern white pine. That's everywhere, or red pine. Red pine's around quite a bit too, but it's abundant and it's economical to find and to saw. Plus, it's soft. It's not like a hardwood, so it's much lighter to manipulate. When you get into a heavy oak frame, it's like twice as heavy. So you better be prepared in the shop to know how to move around these pieces of wood. Whereas, pine is a lot lighter.
What's gonna last the longest? What would?
Well, all the wood is going to last super, super duper long as it doesn't get wet.
Okay.
It'll pretty much last, well, goodness gracious. In Japan, the oldest wooden structure is 1,500 years old.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. And it's,
Why?
and it's
Why?
just fine.
Let me ask you this:
Just fine.
why isn't it petrified?
Because it's not buried in mud.
Oh, because there's no way for it to get the.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I get you now. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Mm-hmm. You can't absorb the minerals through the air.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So if you cover it from sun, if the sun isn't hitting it all the time, and if the water isn't on it, it's going to last for God knows how long. Because, you've got trees that are also 6,000 years old, and that wood in there is 6,000 years old.
That's pretty wild.
And it's wet.
Have you ever been to like Sequoia or anything? See those big ass trees?
I have, yeah.
Oh man, or even living out in the Pacific Northwest for a while, man. Those trees.
Those are real woods.
Man, those trees.
Those are the real forests.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, I love the beautiful emerald wet woods of Wisconsin. Like, wow. I mean, I've logged and worked with trees most of my life, especially in Wisconsin, so I'm really in love with the woods here. But you go to the Pacific Northwest, and it's like, it's almost spooky.
Yeah, those are
Like
those are like the real.
Those
woods.
are the woods where in the ancient lore it was like, you don't go into the woods, man.
I think
You're
it's
gonna
the
get
old
fucked.
growth. Because didn't they clear cut
beautiful.
all of this? Like, I just wonder what it looked like 200, 300 years ago around here. Yeah.
All white pine.
Yeah.
With the occasional, there were some hardwood patches, but there would be like around Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the Midwest, you have like oak savannas, white oak savannas. So you'd see those. You still see those around. They're around. Minnehaha is an oak savanna. It's hundreds of years old.
Yeah, so like Eau Claire's like and Menominee are old like lumberjack towns.
Big time.
Were the trees like how big were they back before they clear cut them, right?
They clear cut them, yeah. So, fuck yeah, they clear cut
Like
everything.
100 years ago.
Yeah.
I believe it would have been over 100 years ago. More like 120, 30, 40,
It's pretty
something
wild.
like that. Yeah.
There's a spot in Minnesota, like the 13 acres or something like that they somehow through the map they didn't cut this tiny section, and it's all old growth.
That would have been
Get
cool if they would have
this.
left one tree every once in a while.
I know. It's like, come on.
But
You needed
but
every-
Eastern, but actually, it was Eastern white pine is going to. That was most likely it was coming to the end of its cycle. Like the old growth. I mean, okay, so I'm from what I know, I'm not an expert on this particular species, but from what I know, which is fairly limited, but also fairly well informed, that old growth Eastern white pine is pretty young. They're not going to live very long, basically.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
They have a pretty short lifespan.
Must have been some
in
huge
comparison
trees.
to. There were though, yeah. They were. I'm sure they were gorgeous.
Well,
they were
well,
perfect.
Well, even that one on the river downtown by the Pablo, there's like a massive one down there. I can't remember what they named it. You know which one I'm talking about? It's by the walking bridge. It's like
Maybe.
fucking.
The white pines in those woods wouldn't have had a limb on them for probably, 60, 70, 80 feet. They would have been clean and perfect all the way up, and they would have been like what we call cannon barrels. Loggers call them cannon barrels. My dad always called it. He was a logger most of his life. And, it's like I come from a long line of loggers, so it's like everyone would. I remember hearing my family, it was family of loggers, talk about what that old growth must have looked like, and they all have stars in their eyes, like these perfect, beautiful columns of trees as far as the eye could see, dark, just like amazing. They said so Menominee still holds the record for as much board feet in any one species ever sawed in the history of the world. And it's 6 billion board feet Menominee sawed out, and it was Eastern white pine. No one's beat that record worldwide.
We did the most deforestation.
We did, yeah. Actually,
Didn't save a single tree.
we built mass portions of the East Coast.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that's where all the lumber was coming from.
Yep. My house is made in Menominee out of Doug fir, which is from the Pacific Northwest. So like, they weren't using the local. They were shipping all that shit out. You know, all the houses were getting built from other lumber from a different area, but we were cutting all those trees down and shipping them out.
Why wouldn't we build houses out of the trees?
Because that was, you know, that they're just making their money that way, shipping it out to the East Coast.
Oh, they like didn't even bump someone wood for their house.
I don't know.
No, selling that to San Francisco. That's gonna go through the Panama Canal.
I don't know. Yeah, weird, huh?
It's pretty wild, though, to think about how they change the landscape like that.
Yeah, so if I
It's insane. But it's all back though. Like if you don't touch anything in Wisconsin, it's going to turn into a white pine forest immediately. You're going to get box elder, you're going to get sumac, then you're going to get some other nurse trees, but eventually you're going to get a bunch of fucking huge white pine. And it's just going to revert back to a huge white pine forest. It would take God knows how long, but they're super prolific, fast growers. Yeah.
Yeah, I planted some white pine a couple of springs ago.
They're amazing trees.
That's the thing about trees, man. They live on a different time parallel. Mm-hmm. They're so crazy.
There's some trees that kind of have our same age, urban trees anyways. Some urban trees, like, you're lucky if you get 150 years out of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that because they're in an urban environment, though?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Isolated?
Trees in the woods grow, or they live 7 times longer. 5 to 7 times longer than urban trees do.
I imagine it's like the fish occupying the space of the hole, you know. Something like if you just give a tree a little bit of dirt, it, you know. But if you give a tree a forest.
I think they communicate with each other way more than we're aware.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so, like,
yeah.
when they're just completely isolated out there.
Mm-hmm. Out of their natural environment, they don't have any of their buddies.
Well, there's tons of proof with that now. I mean, there's nurse trees and trees that feed each other, and there's symbiosis between all these trees. But the main symbiosis that urban trees don't have is the mycorrhizae fungus. Mm-hmm. They don't have that fungal inoculation of the roots that allows them to
communicate.
Well, they do that too, but also it creates more surface area in the root system, so they can absorb more nutrients and water and whatnot. So they lack that, and then they have, like, the canopies are usually about 5 times too large, so they're trying to keep up with too much foliage, and they just wear themselves out, and they fall apart, die. They have too much leaves, basically.
That's crazy.
Too much light. They're not competing with other trees. They don't have that small window of light. So they run out of. They're able to. They can't support their whole tree anymore. I'm really high right now.
Have you
talking
ever
about trees? So. Jesus Christ.
Have you been to, like, tropical down south, like, trees?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
even some of those ones you see in LA that are super huge. I don't know if those are any good for building with, though. They probably aren't.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Aren't there a couple of woods that don't rot?
There's all kinds of rot-resistant species.
Like, what's the one? Red cedar?
Red cedar's really good. That's around here. We have cedar, does really well around here. White oak does really well. Black locust is really good for that.
So if I had, like, unlimited money and could build a huge Lincoln log home.
Sorry for my
What would be
dirty
the
joints,
best
guys. I threw an ashtray in there, and it was a bad choice.
Your dream house?
Yeah, what would be the best, longest lasting wood?
The longest lasting? Mm-hmm. Fuck, white oak.
White oak.
White oak lasts, oh yeah.
What are those ones in Japan made out of?
So many things, but a lot of, so many things.
So many things.
No one's talking about this. So like,
Can you sell it to us in a British voice?
yeah, it's cool. Yes.
Don't be scared to get on
What was
that
your
mic,
question?
too. Don't be scared to get
What
up
was
there.
your question again, Jake? Sorry. Yeah.
Sir Wallace,
Yes.
what is the best type of wood to build a house out of? Yes, tell me, Wally.
Well, if I was to build a house out of a specific species of tree, I would prefer to use white oak. White oak is a lovely tree. You see, no matter how you slice a white oak, you're going to have a beautiful grain. It's going to have cathedral graining, and it's going to have a ribboned figure, and it's gorgeous. Yes, so white oak for the beauty of it and the durability as well. It doesn't rot. So there you are.
That's funny.
Yes.
That was so good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Guys, can you please blow that up on the
Round-
internet?
round of
We need to
applause.
get him a voice.
Yeah.
He
Voice
needs,
acting gig.
yeah, he needs a voice acting gig.
Oh, please.
You just get him an acting gig.
You too. Please.
That's true of acting
Please
too.
fill my
But I the cartoon characters that I was picturing while I was hearing that voice.
Well,
Yeah.
were you ever in theater?
No.
Damn.
I know.
You're
Oh my God.
too good for Hollywood, honestly.
Oh, stop.
I think you could rock it though.
Honestly, just some of these, that voice, you without your shirt on, talking about wood, is all you need.
You could totally play a Hotline Jack.
I've thought about that. A lot of people tell me I should do
You
that.
should be in the Old Spice commercial from
You should
now,
get an
dude.
agent.
That's what I mean, that, man. You guys are really making me feel amazing.
It's because you are. This podcast is really
Do you
empowering.
guys want any more of this?
I just feel really seen right now.
Good.
And thanks.
It sounds so good, though. I have no impressions.
It's okay.
And it's never too late to try.
My brother, when I was growing up, he was always doing voices, and he was always really good at it. And he was always
Definitely a safe space. Comedy. I like comedy. You guys fuck with comedy at all?
You have to be careful though. Well, yeah, comedy's amazing because you can. Yeah, I think like the most amazing comic says the most ridiculous, like offensive shit, but somehow gets away with it because everyone laughs.
Well, it has
That's
to
the
be.
secret.
It has to be funny.
It has to be funny, and then he's a genius. Like, how smart do you have to be able? It's like that's how smart you
It's
are.
the court jester. If
Yeah.
you can make it funny, it's okay.
Yeah,
you
it's
can
okay.
say you can say anything as long as it's funny.
And then, yeah, exactly.
To an extent, right?
And then, like,
Well, I mean,
and
it's
like,
just,
you
it
need
is freedom
that.
of speech.
But you fucking need that shit. I've heard
You
that.
need it.
I
You
heard
need
that
to laugh.
Kings hired that shit, those guys, so they would stay connected and like be able to stay grounded.
Society needs more of that.
That's what the
We
Native
absolutely fucking need
We
it.
should get a jester and all
the Native Americans had a guy too, like the Hyoka or something like that.
the funny
They had
guys.
The
jesters
funny
too.
man, yeah.
Well, who had it?
The Native Americans.
Wolfpack.
They had funny Native
They
Americans.
called them like something. They had a special spot in society.
No shit.
I heard Wolfpacks do that too.
Because I always thought them to
Really?
be so serious and stoic. The archetype of the Native American. But to have a Native American comedian, that's a really interesting idea.
Well, I don't think it's like stand up, but it's like important to have someone that can like poke fun at authority.
Oh, absolutely.
When in some wolf packs, it's been observed that the largest wolf, who isn't necessarily the alpha male, when two dogs are fighting, the biggest dog will go over there and break it up, and then like get everyone to play.
Well, I heard that too. I heard that playfulness is a sign of social, like hierarchy in rats and in other animals, where it's like the alpha male plays the most.
It's the neurological opposite of trauma playing.
Interesting.
I love that.
It's just really good for your brain.
Guys, we're playing right now.
Yeah, it's really good for our brain.
The neurological opposite of pain is play.
Yeah,
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
it's really good.
The
for
neurological opposite of pain is play.
no, it's of trauma.
Of trauma.
So then, like, the opposite of trauma is like goofing off and having fun,
Yeah.
which is what we should be doing. We should not be being.
Does it have? Does it actually heal?
Facts.
Does it have a healing effect?
100%.
It totally does, yeah. Because then, like,
Comedy.
Seriously though, it actually like playfulness heals the brain and
yeah,
trauma.
I think Dr. Rhonda Patrick said that.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd like to know a lot. So I've been thinking about play a lot, playfulness, and that how like I get concerned when I become less playful.
Dude,
I
I'd,
know,
I'd
yeah.
love
Like
to
I'm
play
like,
with you.
oh, I'm depressed, and I'm like not as playful as I used to be, and it's like concerning, and it's like
It's really good for you.
I want to be playful, man.
It's really good for you to have fun and laugh.
Yeah, and when you're not, and when I'm not, I'm just like, okay, what's wrong? Like this
I
is
know.
not good.
And so then I think that's the feature of like the court jester in like chords, and when the king's like, you need a little comic relief.
Right, you got to make fun of yourself.
Yeah. Some people get way too serious.
You've got to have.
You can make
mistakes
mistakes if you get too serious too. You need someone that can like show you that.
It like decreases the ego in like in a way to save face. Yeah, it's like it's funny.
Right. Well, and I think that's like maybe like the root of like the roast thing, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's like some people like being roasted because then like, you know,
If it's funny, I'm
it's
into
funny.
it.
Yeah, call me out and make it funny.
Oh man, it's gotta hurt a little bit though. It's gotta hurt, but it's gotta be good though. It's gotta really.
Right,
help.
well that's why. But and
It's
then
like good counseling. Wow, like just
Yeah.
calling you out on all your shit.
Someone did a roast here in town recently, and I thought that was clever. It'd be kind of a fun thing to do.
who did that?
Louis, that I can't think of his last name. He's like a guitar guy, plays in a band.
can't believe
Louis,
no one
Louis
told me.
something.
Oh no way, the guy
Really,
I can't think
with
of
the
his name.
cowboy looking.
Yeah,
dude.
he's very cowboy.
Yeah, what's his name?
I feel like I
Louis
I should
something.
plug his Instagram for him. I
feel like I would.
I can't believe wasn't invited to that.
It was like his birthday party.
Oh my God.
I wasn't invited either, but
Which
I
you-
saw he did it, and I was like, "That's cool. Like that's kind of fun."
All right,
Would
let's
you
do it
guys
again.
let us? Would you guys do a roast of your? You let someone do a roast of yourself?
I've been roasted before.
Well, I've been talking to some people about maybe
Like a public
doing
thing?
a live podcast in front of like a bar. So then you'd have a panel and then
Like Kill Tony.
something like Kill Tony, but not like Kill Tony. Like we wouldn't do it off of comedy. Like it'd just be like a live podcast.
Just a live podcast, and we could do improv.
Yeah, then you could bring people up. You could do
we could do
super
whatever we
things.
wanted.
Yeah, you could do a bunch of
Because
shit.
they kind of have their like locked in thing.
Yeah,
It would just
there's
be a
not
panel,
enough. There's not enough comedy people for that here.
And then we could just talk to anybody.
Yeah, and then you could
Or-
feature a musician one week, or like I was thinking maybe doing it once a month or something. Because then you
Local
could.
experts, we could get like a university professor.
That'd be fun.
And get a milk farmer.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to do that for like the normal podcast and have like a serious, cool talk. But then make this like more about like it's a fun thing to do. We're out having fun, and then pull all the friends together for like a good night. You know,
I think that'd be great.
I like having parties. You've been to a few of my parties.
I like parties.
You went to one of my parties, but you left too early.
Well,
Yeah,
I have
pretty
a
early.
bedtime.
Yeah, whatever.
Was that your birthday party last year?
That was like 2 years ago now.
Feels like forever.
I didn't do one this last year, and then the one at the State Theater was pretty fun
When's your birthday?
in July.
Okay.
Mine's
July
in,
10th.
mine's
I want
in
to
like
spend
a
my
week.
birthday this year in New York City.
Mine's in a week
Is it really?
ish.
You're gonna be
That's right.
60 years old?
Yeah.
God damn it,
Big
dude.
old 6-0.
Just kidding.
Yeah. Goodbye, youth. Well, that left a long time ago.
I mean, you look great for 60.
Thanks.
What
Well-
do you do?
Well, you know, RFK is my personal trainer, so and nutritionist.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. How old are you really? You wanna say it?
48
48.
or 49. I
That's
can't
right.
remember.
That's
You-
right.
you-
You're,
I actually can't remember. My girlfriend will remember for me.
I'm turning 39 this year.
Oh, the 30s.
They're gone.
Well, you know, the 40s I still feel like are kind of in the youth area. I feel like I'm genuinely exiting youth forever now. Like I feel like 50 will come around and it's like
You're
you
50.
only look forward to getting old now. Like it's kind of weird. It's
Yeah.
definitely a very strange threshold to walk through. You're like, "Oh, wow, I have nothing to look forward to."
So you think you're like...
No, I mean that's not true, but kind of.
You're peaking?
Well, as a
You're way past
honestly,
the peak, man.
you're a beautiful man,
Thank you.
and I don't think beautiful men. I mean, you're gonna age out and die, obviously, but
Yeah, for sure.
Reminder,
As-
everyone does.
But it, you know, that's the
but
thing.
you're still getting better with age.
Well, I
You're-
appreciate that.
you're
It's like
gonna
a fine
be-
wine.
Thank you. I appreciate
You
that.
just have to. You have
Oh my
to.
God.
I know.
You guys are
You've
just.
gotten- Over the years I've known you, you've gotten cooler.
Yeah.
I just hope it's because, like, what I am inside is, like, you just see that.
Yeah.
You know?
See, that's just a Valley Girl to me.
That was definitely a Valley Girl.
That was Valley Girl.
That was Valley Girl. That was not gay.
No, dude.
Well, I mean, is there
There's
ecological
similarities.
lapover?
There's similarities. There's definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
There's some crossovers there.
How would a Southern man empower another Southern man?
A Southern man? What about now?
I wish I could do
Or
that.
Like a
rather
Southern,
like-
a
'cause,
Southern
like,
man.
I can
Oh,
make
yeah.
you feel empowered like a Valley girl.
What about a Southern man though?
But like, how would I like?
Southern man.
Wow, Wally,
Oh
I'm so proud of you.
well. Let me see. I
Whale.
gotta try to think into like a Southern kind of like a Southern type of mind right now. Okay. Like what kind of Southern are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Talking about like Louisiana, or are we talking about like Alabama?
That was good. That was like Elvis.
Oh, that's like Alabama.
That was like Johnny Bravo.
Oh,
Can you do a Johnny Cash?
Johnny
have to-
Cash.
probably have to hear
Johnny
him.
Cash. I don't think so.
He's like kind of scrawly. Like
Yeah,
that,
he's
too.
like, I
I
don't
can't
know.
do
It's-
it. I can't
Doesn't
do
he have
it.
like a wavery voice? Like, I'm Johnny Cash. Like that.
Something like
Johnny
that. It's more
Cash.
southerny, deep.
Johnny Cash. No, that was weird. That sounded like a robot.
What's that song? I can't think of
Fell
it.
into the burning ring of fire, and it burns.
You go down,
and
down,
the
down.
flames went high.
He's got that other one that he did right before he died that was fucking insane too. I can't think of it. Anyways,
He's the man in black.
it was Rick Rubin who made it. That's why that song fucking crushed.
Oh, yeah. When the man comes around.
Yeah.
When the man comes around.
Yeah, there you. That's close.
Angels singing. That one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Rick Rubin, man.
legend. I love him.
Wow.
Shout out.
I watched his documentary and I really loved it. And I'm like so enthralled by him and I'm just watching. I'm like, what a fucking stud.
You watched?
And then, but then
what's
I'm like,
that, Shangri-La?
yeah. And then I'm watching
So
it. Then I'm
good.
like, and then I like remember having a moment. I'm like, this guy knows he's fucking selling himself so hard.
Yeah.
But he makes it seem like he's just like, I'm just being. That's it.
Yeah.
A
That's
documentary
all I'm
about.
doing. I don't even know what I'm doing. You fucking know what you're doing, dude.
He knows
You
what
are
he's
such a good salesman.
So this is a documentary about Rick Rubin called Shangri-La.
So good.
Wow, a documentary I haven't heard
Have
about.
you read his book?
It's all about his house in Malibu
I've honestly
it's
never
so
heard of
cool.
Rick Rubin.
and like what he did to set it all up. And you don't
Well,
know
you'll
Rick.
find
you
out.
would love Rick
Oh, yeah.
Rubin. You are Rick Rubin.
Rick Rubin is what? Oh, I don't even know where to start with Rick Rubin.
A documentary.
I love him. You read his book, The Creative Act?
Yeah,
Fucking so good.
it's very good. It's meant to be read pretty much like a devotion.
We've talked about this book so much on this podcast because the first episode was like we talked about that book.
Oh, for
the trip,
Can we
or what?
reconvene in a little book club?
We
And then
should.
once I get all caught up, we can talk about this
a good
cool
book.
guy.
I'm trying to put a podcast out a week, so I'm always trying to do something. If you guys want to read books and talk about them anytime, I'll produce
sounds
your
good, 'cause
podcast.
then
I don't
I'll-
even need to be on it. I have the gear.
And
guys.
then all 25 people listening right now will like, I want to hear.
The clips
more about
get
Rick
over
Rubin.
1,000.
Well, then they could even join. They could join along if they listen to this live now.
Would be fun if there was an audience here and we could be like, "Hey, you guys, who wants to come up here and try this fun challenge?"
Well, YouTube channel. We
And
should-
then you could, once you grow it on the YouTube channel, then you could take it to other bars. You don't have to be like trapped in a venue. You could take it anywhere.
I thought it'd always be interesting to interview homeless people.
That would be fun, but kind of chaotic.
Yeah, that'd be fun though. Mm-hmm.
What you could do is set it
get-
up so you just pick them up outside that shelter over there. Be like, "I'll give you $20 to jump on this podcast."
Yeah, what I've done before is like if I have time and and I see a homeless person, like, let's get a bite to eat.
Yeah, you could do it with like
And
a
then
little mic. You
talk
know?
to
like
'em, yeah.
A smaller setup than this. This is like kind of a ridiculous
top.
setup.
But yeah, just like a little.
It's not even set up right because I can hear a little bit of feedback, but I'll take it out.
Because so many people are
Can
like
you hear
scared of
that?
homeless people.
Yeah, you can, right?
A little bit.
I think it's one of the mics is set up differently. I didn't set the third mic up. I was in a hurry. Sorry, guys. This has still been a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, what do we got for time?
We're at 44, but I think that has like a little bit extra time in the beginning that doesn't really count. Why? You guys trying to get out of here?
No, I was just
no.
wondering if we had a hard out, because then we didn't even plug the root beer.
Plug the root beer.
Plug it.
Tell us about
Wonders
the
of
root beer.
Nature on Barstow Street in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. The dude Chris makes this by hand. This is the best root beer I've ever had in my life.
Really? I think
Carbon-
I met this guy actually at not Blue Ox at what's that other Boats and Bluegrass?
He's a cool guy.
Boats and bluegrass.
I think they had maybe
Have you been in Wonders of Nature?
no.
Wait, is
Yeah,
there-
I have because
is
I
there-
delivered an Amazon package.
But you've never
there.
like been.
But is there
No,
a
I
place
never
called
had time
Boats
to,
and
like-
Bluegrass?
Yeah, it's a
Boats-
festival
Is that on
in.
the Mississippi?
Boats and
Yeah, it's
Bluegrass,
up by Winona.
Down by Winona.
Boats and Bluegrass. Okay.
Down by Winona.
I thought it was
Well,
a
I mean,
store.
south of here.
Kind
I
of.
was laughing.
Like, depending on which way's up.
I guess you're right. Yeah, it's down from here.
But yeah, that's got like actual good stuff in it.
Winona is actually a cute ass town. Shout out
Dude,
Winona.
I love that town.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
I like the vibe over there.
I like it too. Yeah.
But if you haven't heard of Boats and Bluegrass, like that is such a fun little
just want to say it in this
Time.
accent. I just want to say something right now. Boats and bluegrass. I just wanted to say it. Boats and bluegrass.
Boats.
Are we gonna go to Blue Ox this year,
Boats,
boys?
boats and bluegrass.
I think so. Maybe.
Why are you coming to Blue Ox?
Blue Ox.
When is it?
I forget. They change it.
I think
Sometime this summer.
Yeah, I don't know. Savannah got she got a vending spot there. And she asked me to go.
Oh
so
yeah,
I might-
Savannah's done. She
You
did that
know?
last year. They have
I
a
might
soul
try to
sanctuary.
sneak in.
Everyone.
I try to
listens.
avoid
Soul
festivals
Sanctuary.
these days, though.
What's a soul sanctuary?
Oh, they have this like corner with like its own. It's got its own stage. It's got its own calendar and the little booklet, and they have like yoga and sound baths and workshops and the hippy dippy.
Where is this at?
At Blue Ox.
Oh.
So they have like the one stage, the other stage, the family stage, the backwoods stage.
Oh, and they would
The
do
vendors,
yoga.
the food, and then they have the camping, the soul sanctuary.
In the soul sanctuary, people can go do yoga and shit. Right. That's what you mean? Like,
Well, and then like, some people, yeah, like,
oh, they do
what's it?
Reiki.
9 a.m. is a little too early for banjo for me most days, and so it's
For
nice
banjo
to, like,
wedding?
go. Well, so Blue Ox is like a bluegrass music festival,
Right, yeah.
and so yeah, like
Oh, 9 o'clock.
sometimes it's a little early for a fiddle.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that.
I'm extremely.
Are you?
Yeah, is that your third one? Intervention.
I'm very high.
It's the same one.
Oh, okay. June 26th and June 28th.
Speaking of books,
Thursday,
not speaking.
Friday, Saturday,
We're not
Sunday.
talking
I don't even
But-
get high anymore.
what I'm changing. Okay. What books? Is anyone reading any books right now?
Whoa. I was chewing through Jane Goodall's autobiography. And then also, I haven't read The Four Agreements yet. I got a hard copy of that laying around for emergencies.
Okay.
I gotta
she-
be honest. I haven't really been on a book in a few months now.
Book club. Boys, book club.
I've been
reading
thinking
the-
about it now that I've got this job.
I'm reading The Fountainhead.
Oh, yeah, audiobooks.
Oh yeah, I'm always listening to some crazy book.
Have you listened to Man's Search for Meaning?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was that was the last audiobook I listened to.
So
all the way
good.
through. It was-
But that's why I mean I don't even need to buy any new books. I'm like I need to just turn my Audible. I like reset my phone and didn't download it, and then I'm on a bad habit of just studying podcasts. I could call it right, but like really not.
And your favorite ones is which one is it?
Well, it just depends what I want. JRE is still probably one of my favorite ones, and then Matt and Shay's Secret Podcast, which is just a comedy broadcast, total broadcast.
What's your favorite Joe Rogan episode?
I don't know if I have a full favorite, but I think one of my favorite guests are like Graham Hancock and shit.
Oh, dude, let's get Graham on.
I know.
Oh my god, dude, have you seen his band TED Talk?
No.
Wait,
Oh
who
my
is
God.
he?
Graham Hancock.
Ancient Civilizations.
Oh, he's
Oh,
got,
that guy. Yeah.
Fingerprints of the Gods.
Yeah. Does
Yeah.
he? Isn't he British?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
His work changed my whole perspective. Actually, it's weird because the first time I ever watched Joe Rogan, it was Graham Hancock and Duncan Trussell like a million years ago. Like, when that first came out.
So that's actually how I have a similar Joe Rogan first experience where like, so I saw Graham Hancock's band TED Talk and I was like, give me more Graham Hancock. And you Google him and like Joe Rogan read his first book in the 90s and like has been having him on his 3,000 episode podcast. Like it's probably been on dozens of times.
It changed my whole perspective on
He's
ancient
getting a
history.
lot more. I've seen some sort of documentary with him, and he's getting a lot more credibility. Like just
He's never not.
Yeah.
He's,
I'm just
he's
saying,
a journalist.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like people aren't calling him crazy anymore. Like there's.
Well,
a
yeah,
lot
he was just
more.
trying to be canceled by big archaeology. It was like-
Yeah.
Well, I think it's much deeper than that. I think it's people that really don't want us opening our eyes
Isn't
to
it
like, the
Secrets of
truth.
Ancient Egypt?
It's probably,
Yeah.
well, there might be
that's-
an agenda to an anthropological worldview. In fact, I would say that
Oh,
there
yeah.
always an agenda according to a worldview.
Well,
of
I
where
can't
we
even
came
hear.
from.
Where are you?
You know
right
what?
now?
'Cause
The
that-
next room.
So that's actually the title of his band TED Talk is the War on Consciousness.
Really?
And so then I guess I never saw like you hear about the bad.
I'm gonna have to
Boys.
look that up.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
The War
plug
on
Graham
Consciousness.
Hancock's band TED Talk about consciousness.
It's on consciousness. His
Conscious.
band TED Talk.
The War on Consciousness, and so he
What
had.
are some of his points? that he makes?
I think I'm a little rusty, but I believe the spark notes are he had a really profound spiritual experience using that jungle medicine in Peru
Sure.
with the natives,
Some
like
sort of psychedelic
Ayahuasca.
experience.
ayahuasca, and he's like super bummed out that it's illegal, and he's like, I'm in my own home, like I'm not hurting anybody. I should have religious, spiritual freedom to explore my consciousness.
Yep.
And
That,
then
and
he's
that was the
like-
point of his TED talk.
Yeah, the war on consciousness. Yeah.
And they were trying to stop him for a long time to stop spreading the message.
This was
but-
before psilocybin really started getting popular clinically.
Well,
He did this?
he's talking about ayahuasca, which is DMT.
So he was kind of one of the forerunners of.
I don't know.
Of trying to make this a public.
His
trying to
story is
normalize it.
he's a journalist, I think, first and foremost, and then he dove into crazy things when he was young. Like the first thing he really dove into was trying to find the lost ark.
Oh yeah, because he was stationed in Ethiopia.
Yeah, and
For
he
his
like went
journalism gig.
super deep into that, and like
Oh, yeah.
then kind of evolved into this ancient history, and then
The Lost Ark. That's a fascinating.
It's
subject.
a long story, like his story. His shit's
Wow.
fucking wild. Dude.
And then honestly, like his view about the pyramids is like very sensible
yeah, all of it's
and
pretty.
like not controversial. Like
Right,
yeah,
right.
Like-
I've heard a lot of his theories, and I'm like, this seems very. Legit.
Have you seen the one with him and Randall Carlson, where like they sit down and they show like the landscape evidence, and like
So-
once you see the pictures, you're like, oh, this happened.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because then like I remember even when I was a kid and like we learned about the pyramids and they're like they were tombs and you're like wait, no, it's not a tomb, because we found the tombs, like this was King Khufu,
Yeah.
a very specific thing, and the pyramid is like not in any way like
A gym.
tomby.
They don't even know who really built it.
Exactly. And so then,
Yeah.
and so then Graham's thing, I think, last I knew, was like he thinks that like 10, 12,000 years ago, there's a big flood. And before that, that's when the pyramids were built. And then that's why there's so much erosion on the Sphinx.
Yeah. Well, the big
And
flood
then-
basically, it's the Younger Dryas theory of that a comet hit the North American ice cap and flash flooded the world and like changed everything
Well,
overnight.
Remember when we were talking
And it
about
might have
fossils?
hit a few times.
Remember when we were talking about fossils?
Yeah.
And how a fossil can only be formed if it's buried by mud. So I think in Dinosaur National Monument, whatever, park, I don't know, in Colorado, I've heard something like there's millions, if not maybe perhaps billions of skeletal remains all jumbled up in the sedimentary layers there, and it goes hundreds of feet thick, hundreds of feet, thousands of,
That's crazy.
hundreds of miles wide. And they say that all these life forms were just buried in mud like that.
That's crazy.
It's like a flood. That's a big one.
The mud flood.
That's a very, very large flood if it's going up into Colorado, and it's burying millions of organisms under thousands and thousands
have
and
to-
thousands of feet of mud.
You don't understand how much ice would have had to flash flood like right away. It literally changed the whole globe.
Right.
And then they think really what probably happened was a comet like came in and then broke apart, and then we got hit like in multiple spots on the Earth.
Well, and the
And
others,
then there's spots like Africa was least affected by that aspect, which is why they still have their large megafauna, and
Yeah.
all the North American megafauna just gone.
right. Interesting.
And they're like, "Oh, you hunted it off." It's like, no, they're not hunted off. They were killed off by an extinction event.
Caveman
And have you heard of the Boneyard in Alaska?
No.
Oh man, they found this like it's like 3 square miles, and they're finding hundreds and hundreds, thousands of bones. Everything, saber-toothed tiger.
Oh
They
yeah.
found.
Okay.
They found.
Yep.
It's just crazy.
They
I've heard
the
that they're
bones
finding-
with human stuff.
Look up. You got
carved
your
in them.
Instagram.
They found.
where's
they
your phone?
found. I
Yeah,
know
what's
that.
that guy's name again? Boneyard, Alaska?
Yeah, Boneyard, Alaska.
I know that in
Dude,
those
you gotta
regions
watch that,
they'll
yeah.
find under like several, I don't know, 100 feet of ice. They'll core out like living bone tissue or bone. They'll also carve out. I know that they uncovered some sort of jaguar with fruit in its stomach.
That's
Where?
wild.
Down, yeah, like some sort of in I don't know, Alaska.
Oh, okay.
You
They're like
guys
doing
see
some
these-
sort of core samples, and they find
Yeah, they'll
like
find stuff
evidence
frozen in
of
the
fruit, tropical
permafrost.
shit. They basically say they're finding tropical things down there.
Have you guys heard about the
Under the ice.
hammer, that weird hammer they found in the rock?
I have heard about things like that. Yeah,
Where they're like, how is this
coal.
possible?
They'll
Yeah.
find it in coal.
And they're like, what the
They'll
fuck?
find like stainless steel cable and stainless steel hammer.
Yeah, and weird things that don't belong in like million-year-old
Don't
rock.
belong in million-year-old rock.
Yeah.
Because maybe someone's controlling the narrative of what we think of our geological history may be.
Yeah, no, I think that-
there's a little. It's like, first of all, people tend to shy away from what happened with
You're
the
shying
flood.
away from that mic right now.
Like the flood. Sorry. It is like people shy away from the flood. It's like, well, we know that. Why are we shying away from the flood? We know that something happened with water. Come on, guys, like a big one.
Like a big one.
Like
Yeah.
a big one. It's like, you know.
Yeah, that stuff just absolutely fascinates me.
So I think it's possible, yeah, that the pyramids were built 12,000 years ago, and then there was a big flood, and then like 2,000 years ago, people like were obviously at the pyramids after the flood,
Yeah.
and then they were like, "Ooga booga, this is ours."
What do you think about the pyramids being some type of a power plant? Have you heard any of
I've
that
heard that,
shit?
and that actually makes the most sense to me.
I know. I was like, God damn. When I
Because
heard
like it's like the granite's like slightly radioactive, and the lime that used to encase it's insulative, and all the tunnels and everything were insulated, and it was over a huge aquifer. It used to be along the Nile after the flood or whatever. It migrated 3 miles away.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, I think that like and I think by calling it a tomb, we're doing a disservice to science when we should be like, hey, should we like the fact that
Yeah.
big archaeology won't even entertain the idea.
Yeah, the way they act globally on all those sites now, you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like
Should we,
they're
like-
like even Göbekli Beckley, like they try to like hide that stuff.
Have you seen the second season of Graham Hancock on Netflix yet?
I haven't. I need to.
Me too. I also need to watch it. Well, have you seen any of the Graham Hancock on Netflix?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
I like
Ancient Apocalypse.
them. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's good stuff.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
That
really good
that
stuff.
series is kind of comes after all the books, so he's like chunking in a lot of the
it's good.
books. He's going through a lot of details like that.
it's almost as addicting as pickleball.
Where do you play pickleball?
Oh, you guys haven't played pickleball yet? Oh no.
No thanks.
Yeah, at the YMCA.
I heard that it's really popular with senior citizens.
Oh yeah, it's really fun to go
Move it or lose it.
school the old people at full size. Really big.
on, move it or lose it.
Dude, tennis is hard.
It fucking is hard.
When people hit a ball at you at 100 miles an hour, you're like, okay, all right. What if it was just like big ping pong?
I played like 5 games of hard volleyball last year, and it almost destroyed me.
Oh yeah.
Like where it was competitive, you know, and I haven't played
shit's
volleyball
fun,
and you were
though.
diving.
since I was in high school, you know.
That shit's fun though.
It was fun.
It's good for
and
you.
we fucking destroyed them. But
Did you?
man, I was so
Even
sore
funner.
for a week.
It's really good for your cerebellum.
Yeah. Not good for my bum, my lower bum.
Were you playing?
upper
in sand?
bum?
Were you not playing in sand?
My like, oh, my back.
Were you playing in
We were
sand?
playing on sod.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got to play in sand.
That'd probably be.
Oh yeah, sand for sure.
Because then, like, I've dove a couple times in pickleball, and I'm like, oh, not the vibe.
No, I can't dive anymore. There's no
But it-
diving with anything.
But if you were on the sand, you could.
That's the problem with skateboarding.
I
At my
might dive
age.
in sand
Now I skate and I'm sore for like a week.
if you fall.
Well,
Yeah.
What
Talking-
happens if you fall though? Like I really can't fall much. I can't afford to fall.
That's what
right.
you think.
If I fall, I'm like, fuck.
That's how the old people
It's
play
kinda
pickleball.
like-
They're like, no, that's a rule. No diving.
No, that's what I
do not
mean though. That's what I mean
not-
about trying to keep up, just
Need to break it
keeping
up.
the skating going. It's like, man, you never want to fall skating, you know?
Oh God, I see these videos of these young kids falling off skateboards, and I'm like, fuck that. That would do me in for. Like,
When you're
a
young, you
month.
can handle it, but
Yeah. Oh good.
Yeah, just throwing my body against concrete right now doesn't
Ugh.
sound
Thanks.
it's so much fun though.
But then even
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I mean, I don't know because
I'm at the point where I can, if I don't skate, like, and I'm not fucking around too much, I shouldn't really be getting hurt, but you never know.
you gotta stretch.
Every now and again. I'm going to start doing yoga.
But it is good to like do dangerous things and take those risks. And,
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like get
flow.
close, but not don't fuck yourself up too bad.
That's why I think
Maybe a
sand
little-
volleyball is like a good, because then if you fall in like soft sand.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Breaks the fall, whereas.
Yeah.
And then you still you're engaging your cerebellum, and you're hanging out, and you're playing with your buddies. which
That's
is
why when we're out in Miami, we got a bodyboard.
good. Bodyboard.
Potty board?
Yeah.
Bodyboard.
Bodyboard.
Bodyboard. I thought you said potty
Hit some warm
award.
waves and just. You ever do that? Bodyboarding's sick and you don't really get hurt.
Have I bodyboarded before? I think I have. I must have.
You're going to Miami?
I think so, yeah.
You know about Biscayne Bay,
No.
largest underwater national park,
Damn.
and it's in
Whoa.
the bay that
What do you do? Snorkel it?
Yeah, when I was there,
I wonder what scuba.
they didn't let me scuba dive.
You have to be
go on a-
trained.
Did they have signs?
Well, so I was scuba dive
down
certified,
there?
but then like I went out with like it's easy to snorkel.
Did they have like?
I love snorkeling.
Yeah,
Did they have like arrowed signs?
it's
and,
got
like,
the third biggest. So I think when I did it, this was like 2021. You had to like pay for them to take you on a boat to go to a reef.
Yeah.
I brought my own snorkel gear. I was scuba certified, but like they have to go on like one of their special scuba trips.
Oh.
So it's
got
the
you.
third. They on the other side of the bay is the third biggest barrier reef in the world.
Damn, I didn't know that.
It's on my Instagram.
Yeah. That'd be cool to go out there.
Yeah, go check out the biggest, America's underwater national park.
Hell yeah.
See the third biggest barrier reef in the world.
Yeah, I had
Fuck
no
yeah.
idea that was. I wonder how far that is from Miami.
I don't know.
When they have like a whole museum and everything, because there's still a
What
bunch
side
of
of
like,
Florida? Well, do you know where it's at?
It's by Miami.
It is by Miami.
Well, so it's like on the same body of water as Miami.
Because
so
what we
there's,
were
like, a big
talking,
bay.
we were talking about. Sorry to cut you off. We were talking.
Pull it up, Jamie.
We were talking about flying into Miami and then driving to St. Petersburg at some point.
Isn't that on the other side of the state?
Yeah, but it's only like a 4-hour drive. So I got a friend who's in St. Petersburg,
They have a really cool.
and they have a lot of really amazing beaches over there. So we were
Yeah.
like, we could hit. He's like, you can hit these 3 beaches each day. Hit a different beach. It's like kind of a different vibe. Super beautiful. Because I just want to go shoot like somewhere on the beach,
Right.
but I need to be close enough to get talent.
Yeah, that was my winter. I
There's a
lived
lot
in
of talent
Florida.
there here. A lot of talent.
There's a really cool tea bar in St. Petersburg that's Alice in Wonderland themed.
Damn, that sounds cool.
Right, because they had tea.
Yeah, they have a bunch of like sober bars in Florida, which is pretty cool. You just go and they have like tea and stuff, and they have like a couple that are like on the beach. And that's pretty fun, because then it's like diet Florida, whereas
The
like
problem is when I'm on the beach, I want like a real cocktail.
right.
I'm like, I'm here now.
They have
what,
some pretty-
what cocktail would you have on the beach?
If I could have any,
Yeah.
I'd have a blended mojito,
Ooh,
and it has to have the mint leaves blended into it,
really?
or it's not
Sounds
even
really
real.
good.
All right, show Biscayne Bay to the viewers, and then so there's Miami.
Yeah.
There's Biscayne National
Oh shit,
Park.
that's totally doable.
That's totally doable.
That's
And
rad.
so there's a bunch of stilt houses out in that bay that got like grandfathered in. So then some people own some like stilt houses out in the bay.
Cool.
So in some places like 4 feet of water, so they just have like a house built on.
That'd be a
posts.
fun adventure for the
Neat.
day.
And they have a whole museum.
Go out
about
there,
it.
shoot at a couple spots on the way, jump in the water, snorkel for a few
Let's
hours.
do it.
Do you have a GoPro?
No.
Okay, you should get one. Well, you should get one. So you can go
should
say,
get one.
and then I can tell you where all the best manatees are.
Yeah.
They're really. Have you swam with the manatees?
No.
That's
No.
way cool.
Do they hug you?
Are you allowed to
They-
swim naked with them?
Hey, check out my Instagram.
Do they hug you even if, well, especially if you're naked? Do they hug you?
Can I
They-
swim with
they-
it like this?
So their closest living relative to the manatee is the elephant. And so yeah, they even have like the vestigial like toes on their fins.
Huh.
They live to like 60 plus years. Nothing kills them. Only natural predator actually is the boat's propellers.
Do they visit the graves of their dead ones?
They do.
Really?
And
Just like
they-
elephants?
Yeah, they have a matriarchal society.
Yeah, they're crazy.
They can feel their nerves go through their fine hairs, long hairs, and the nerves go through the hairs, and so they can sense electrical signals, and so they totally pick up on the vibes.
Right.
Damn.
And like yeah,
That
they're-
means you
they're-
got to wear one of those suits that, like, when you're in the water, you don't give off an electrical signal.
You don't have to.
What are those
Well,
things
think-
called?
Maybe that would scare them, though.
No, it's supposed to be better. Like, sharks won't attack you and shit. People, like, things don't see you with it on.
Have you seen the guys who go and pet the big sharks?
Yeah. They have those suits on, I guarantee it.
Yeah, but they like pet them, and then they even say that the sharks recognize the people that have been there before, and they're kind of like, and then everyone's wearing full like wetsuit, mask, everything. So then, like, how does the shark recognize this person versus the other person? And the sharks have all that electrical stuff in their nose. That's my theory.
Weird.
The shark can like remember your electrical signal.
Oh, yeah.
And so then the manatees can like, yeah, I think they can remember your
Interesting.
electrical signal and then also sense it.
I believe that.
That's
I love
true.
that.
That's why dogs love me.
I think there's dogs get more in tune with the vibe in general. Some dogs don't get the vibe. And they need
Cats
to learn the
love
vibe.
me.
Do they?
Yeah.
I love cats too.
Yeah. I feel like I
like seeing all the farm animals delivering for Amazon.
yeah.
I get to see.
What's your
them
favorite farm animal? Mine is a donkey.
That's a good question.
Or actually a pig, probably. Actually. Have you guys ever befriended a pig?
Yeah.
I haven't.
Really? For how long? How many times did you interact with that pig?
I
do you think?
used to live in my landlord's guest house, and he raised 2 different sets of pigs. The first one they raised was named Pork Chop,
Okay.
and my dog was friends with Pork Chop.
Okay, cool. Do they not have crazy amounts of personality or what?
Oh, 100%.
It's like you don't even know until you hang out with them for a while, and they, all of a sudden, like your eyes are open to how subtle and weird they are.
Yeah, Big Pork's gotcha.
They're just so fucking weird and funny and interactive and playful.
Dude, honestly, same with probably all mammals, huh? Probably most animals.
but pigs
Most mammals are pretty chill.
kinda
Pigs are
naughty,
very
though.
sophisticated.
But pigs are kind of like naughty, you know.
Yeah, no, yeah, they're
kind of like
goofy.
They're
They're
like,
smart.
They're fucking
They're
fun.
high functioning.
Well, I mean,
They're
I've
fun.
known a few pigs in my day, but just kidding.
Dude, one time a girl I called her Jefe, which is Spanish for boss. Mm-hmm. And she thought I called her a heifer.
Ooh.
And then
She was not happy.
figured that out days later. I was
No,
like,
I said
how
hefe.
come she never talked to me again?
I would love to have a pig, though. What about?
Called her a heifer.
Because you called her a heifer, Jay.
I was like, what are they
what?
talking about? What, dude?
I
Oh,
never
no,
called her a
Jefe.
heifer.
I think I want chickens though before anything. Just give me some free eggs,
Chickens
and I'd be
before
so
heifers.
hyped.
Yeah, I think that's that's got to be the future, right? More people
Chickens?
having chickens and more people raising more local food systems.
Why does
I
Eau
agree.
Claire make us get a permit to have chickens?
Do they?
Yeah, you have to pay like $1,200 or some shit to have
No.
chickens. Yeah, you do.
Honestly, like, we should test that.
I swear to God, it's something ridiculous.
I don't think it costs that much money in Menominee.
in
You
the
just
city
do it.
limits, you do, because Savannah wants chickens.
I don't think you got to pay.
I don't know if
in
it's that
Menominee,
much, but
I think that should be illegal to have to pay to raise animals. Well, I mean, like,
though. Depends on what kind, huh?
right, because then I do think that, like, maybe we do need some regulation with dog breeding. That's kind of wild.
yeah, well, a lot of we
Like,
don't.
no,
we've
you-
all seen Tiger King, right?
No yappy dogs.
There
We
needs
should
to be
just
some
we should
regulation,
outlaw-
but
we should outlaw like aggressive small dogs.
Right.
I mean, all well, I mean, I don't know. Just
That's
ima-
eugenics.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think, like,
if I see a dog in your yard, I do not have to deliver your package, and I can literally cancel it immediately. I can literally go.
I
Not
shouldn't
today.
say that though because
you see
I had a
that?
dog for 17 years and he was a small yappy dog and I did love him. So I should.
kind of dog?
Shih Tzu poodle.
I've known some good
Gus.
small
His
dogs.
name was Gus.
all
I love
dogs.
small dogs.
All dogs are valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Well, and then I think that's where the bummer gets in is like when people aren't breeding them responsible or breeding them irresponsibly.
Like with their sisters or something.
Or and then also,
I mean,
just,
they do
like,
that
not-
happens naturally in Wisconsin with barn cats, and then you get a lot of mentally deficient cats and blind cats and cats that have no equilibrium and they're always hitting walls and stuff. It's really sad,
That kind of makes sense.
and that's from inbreeding.
What's the downside of deregulating chickens in America?
I don't know.
There's some.
We should put that out there in the world.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking
RFK,
about it,
let's go,
When I
dude.
was in Florida, there was some farmers
He's
market.
probably on it already.
There were just some chickens who lived at a farmer's market year round. And there are signs about them like, don't feed the chickens. They're chilling. Where was that? It was north of St. Petersburg. Maybe
don't
that was
know.
St. Petersburg. I'll look it up.
That's what I
Remind me
love
before you
about the
go, give me all
island
my
life. When you go to the
Florida
real
facts.
islands, like in the Bahamas, there's chickens running around fucking everywhere.
I know.
Oh, and
They
then
have
there's a-
avian
there's a-
flu so bad.
there's
over
a
there,
pig
though,
island.
don't they?
I don't know.
They're like bird populations get
yeah.
wiped the fuck out sometimes. I knew a guy in Jamaica, and he would talk about how sometimes just the birds would drop everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, it's like ooh,
I heard pigeons were originally domesticated.
that makes sense.
And then after we
They
started
seem-
using cell phones, we were like, well, we don't need these pigeons anymore.
Yeah, and they do seem like they've been left. Like they're just.
That's
like,
why they live in
"What?"
cities, yeah.
I know they're like we're in the cities, and yeah, it's so strange. They are strange, aren't they? Yeah,
Homeless domesticated
yeah.
birds.
No, they do seem kind of homeless, don't they?
They,
It's kind of sad. I shouldn't say that. There's a
no, it is like,
there's
it
a
is little
scattered
sad.
there's a scattered kind of shabby feeling about them.
No,
isn't
like
there?
pigeons are valid, and also like,
But they're also pretty awesome.
yeah, no, I think maybe we need pigeon shelters, or did that just make it worse?
Probably make it worse. I think we just need to have peregrine
Guys.
falcons.
Now we're talking.
Peregrine falcons were nabbing those.
Falconry.
I love you guys.
I love you too.
Dude, love the broadcast. The broadcast?
This
was
was
good.
a lot of fun. We did an hour and 10 minutes.
Wow.
I have
was
dinner
fun.
plans, otherwise I'd keep it rolling.
What are your dinner plans?
I'm gonna go out with Savannah
Oh
tonight.
my god.
Little Savannah.
Have I needed to be this close the whole time?
No, you don't have to be, but you would have sounded better.
Oh,
Yeah, it sounded like you were across the room yelling at us.
oh man.
Can't you hear it?
You could have been whispering in my ear the whole
We can do this again. Maybe
Well,
we should do
we
this.
Yeah,
should
we're gonna
definitely
follow
do
up
this
book
again.
club.
Dude, this is a fun
We'll come-
little
we'll come
hang
back.
This is
session.
just a test.
The viewers want you guys to play pickleball.
Ah.
Try it one time.
All right.
All right, guys,
right.
thank you. Wait, you guys, do your plugs
Thank-
first. Tell the people where to find you.
My name's Aaron Wallace with Oxbow Designs. You can find me on Instagram, oxbow.designs or oxbowdesigns.com.
My name's Jacob, and you'll find me grocery shopping at the Menominee Market Food Cooperative or on Instagram at A World Peace Warrior.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Oh my
Next time we should do NPR voices only.
I agree with that. That sounds like a great
Just
idea.
talk about art and talk
That's
about.
actually a great idea.
Just get real calm with it. You know?
Yeah. We have a lot
All right,
of-
guys, take a deep. Next time we're gonna get a sound healer in here too.
Oh my god.
Oh, I love sound healing. You know, I heard sound healing really activates bone marrow.
All right, guys, I gotta clean this shit up. Gotta go.
Bye, everybody.
Nirvana means in Sanskrit, blow out. That is, exhale the breath. Exhale the breath. The opposite